Dear one, I'm writing to you tonight because I see you. I see you there, in the quiet spaces between your obligations, in the moments when you catch your own reflection and wonder who's looking back. I see you, and I wanted you to know you're not as lost as you think you are. I know you've been running, not away from something, but toward everything else, toward what everyone needs, toward what everyone expects. You've been so busy being what the world asks of you that somewhere along the way you set yourself down like a coat you meant to pick up later, and later never came. Do you remember who you were before the world told you who to be? I'm asking gently because I know that question might sting a little. It's like reaching for a name you once knew well, now hovering just beyond your grasp. You were someone once, someone who laughed at strange things, who had favorite hours of the day, who knew without thinking what made your heart feel light. That person isn't gone. They're just buried under all the versions of yourself you've built to survive. You've become so good at adaptation, haven't you? So skilled at reading rooms, at shapeshifting, at making yourself small enough to fit into the spaces others need you to fill. It's exhausting work, this constant translation of yourself into something more palatable, more useful, more acceptable. You've learned every dialect of self-denial fluently. And I want you to know there's no shame in this. You did what you had to do. You bent so you wouldn't break. You dimmed your light so others could see. You whispered when you wanted to sing. These weren't weaknesses. These were survival strategies, and they kept you here. They kept you alive. But now I think you're ready to remember. There's this thing that happens when you forget yourself. It's subtle at first. You stop ordering the foods you actually like and just go with whatever's easier. You stop wearing the colors that make you feel alive. You laugh when you're supposed to, cry when you're alone, and perform a version of contentment that looks real enough from the outside. Your days become a series of responses to other people's needs. You wake up already answering questions you didn't ask. You move through hours like a ghost in your own life, present but not quite there, functional but not quite whole. And the cruelest part? You might not even notice it happening. The forgetting is so gradual, so gentle, like fog rolling in. One day you're you, and the next day you're still you, just a little less so, and then a little less. And then you wake up one morning and realize you can't remember the last time you did something simply because it made you happy. I'm writing to tell you that this fog can lift. You are not too far gone. You are not broken beyond repair. You have not missed your chance to come home to yourself. The door is still open. It's always been open. You're the one who's been standing outside, convinced you need permission to enter your own life. Let me tell you what I know about coming back to yourself. It doesn't happen all at once. It's not a grand revelation or a single moment of clarity. It's smaller than that and more sacred. It's the first time you say no without apologizing. It's the moment you realize you've been holding your breath and you finally let it go. It's ordering the meal you actually want. It's taking the long way home because the light looks beautiful through the trees. It's letting yourself cry in the middle of the day. It's laughing too loud. It's wearing the thing that makes you feel like yourself, even if no one else understands it. Coming back to yourself is an accumulation of tiny rebellions against the person you thought you had to be. And here's what I want you to understand. You don't have to earn the right to remember yourself. You don't have to be productive enough, healed enough, or worthy enough first. You don't have to wait until you've figured everything out or until you've become the person you think you should be. You can come back now, exactly as you are. Confused, tired, uncertain, none of that disqualifies you from your own life. I wonder if anyone ever told you that you could take up space, that you could want things without justifying them, that your preferences matter, your comfort matters, your joy matters, not because of what you do or who you serve, but simply because you're here. You've spent so long making yourself useful that you forgot you were always valuable. These aren't the same thing. Your worth isn't in your productivity. It isn't in how well you meet expectations or how seamlessly you fit into other people's lives. Your worth is inherent. It came with you. It's woven into the fact of your existence, and nothing you do or don't do can change that. I know you don't fully believe me yet. That's okay. You've been taught differently for so long. You've been shown through 1,000 small moments that your value is conditional, that love must be earned, that rest must be justified. But what if all of that was wrong? What if you didn't have to prove anything? What if you could just be? There's this image I keep coming back to. Imagine yourself as a house. For so long, you've left every door and window open. You've let everyone walk through, take what they needed, rearrange your furniture, decide what belongs and what doesn't. You've been so accommodating, so generous with your space. But houses need boundaries. They need walls not to keep love out, but to create a space where life can happen, where you can sit in your own chair, in your own quiet, and just exist without performing or producing or proving anything. It's time to close some doors. Not all of them. You don't have to shut the world out, but maybe just enough to hear yourself, enough to remember what silence sounds like, enough to figure out which rooms are yours and yours alone. This isn't selfishness. This is self-preservation. This is the radical act of believing you deserve a place to exist as you are. I know you're scared. Change is terrifying, even when it's change towards something better. You've built a life around forgetting yourself, and now I'm asking you to remember. That means some things will have to shift. Some relationships might not survive your wholeness. Some people might not like it when you stop making yourself small. Let them be uncomfortable. Your responsibility is not to shrink so others can feel big. Your responsibility is to inhabit your own life fully, to take up the space you actually need, to speak in your real voice instead of the one you've carefully trained to be acceptable. And yes, this might disappoint some people. They've gotten used to the version of you that bends, that yields, that never asks for too much. But the people who love you, truly love you, they're waiting for this. They've been waiting for you to come back. They miss you too. So here's what I'm asking you to do, gently, without pressure. Start small. Start so small it barely counts. Tomorrow, do one thing just for yourself. Not because it's productive or healthy or impressive, just because you want to. Maybe it's 5 minutes sitting with your coffee in silence. Maybe it's listening to a song you used to love. Maybe it's saying no to something without explaining why. These small acts are prayers. They're promises you make to yourself that you're still here, that you still matter, that you haven't given up on the person you once were and could be again. And then do it again the next day and the next. Not perfectly, there is no perfect here, but persistently, gently, with the kind of patience you'd show a friend who's been lost for a long time. Because that's what you are. You're a friend who's been lost, and now you're finding your way home. I want you to know something else. The version of you that you forgot, they forgive you. They understand why you had to set them down. They don't resent the time that's passed or the things you had to do to survive. They've been waiting quietly in the parts of you that dreams touch, in the moments when you catch yourself humming a song for no reason, in the sudden urge to paint or write or dance or do something that makes no practical sense at all. Those moments are them saying, "I'm still here, come find me." And you will. One small choice at a time, one boundary at a time, one moment of honest living at a time, you will. The journey back to yourself doesn't require a map or a plan or perfect conditions. It just requires willingness, a small, quiet willingness to believe that you deserve to remember who you are. Dear one, you are not too late. You have not wandered too far. The you that you've been looking for has been inside you all along, patient as the earth, waiting for you to stop running long enough to notice. And when you do, when you finally stop and turn inward and say, "I'm here now, I'm listening," you'll find that coming home to yourself feels less like arriving somewhere new and more like exhaling after holding your breath for years. It feels like relief. It feels like the first warm day of spring after the longest winter. It feels like finally being able to rest. So rest now. Not forever, just for a moment. Let this be your permission. Let this be your invitation. Let this be the voice that reminds you that you are allowed to exist as yourself, without apology, without explanation, without earning it first. You are allowed to remember. You are allowed to come home. And I'll be here cheering quietly for every small step you take back to yourself. Because I believe in the person you're becoming, or rather, the person you're remembering you always were. With all the tenderness you deserve, someone who sees you.